So guys, 3-1 defeat which sees us exit the Emirates FA Cup first round qualifying, but what did you think of the performance overall?
At the end of the day, it's another loss, and on the kind of from the outside you probably think it's the same process as what's happened over the bank holiday, but I think anyone who was here today can see the massive improvement in the performance, both individually and as a team. And I think that if we can, like I just said to the lads in there, that listen, they're going to be down, but I want them to lift their head up because there's so many positives from that we've got to build on. We've got to continue to work. And like I said, it was never gonna happen overnight. But I think today the biggest thing, what everyone can see, that there's improvement, and there's a way of what we're trying to do things, and we've just seen a little bit more of that today. So as a whole, we've got to look at the positive, but at the end of the day, it's still a loss. And when you look at the score on 3-1, and we said on the sideline, it probably wasn't a 3-1 game, but that's football, and you have to deal with that. But listen, we're prepared to keep on working and to keep on working next week, which we'll do. But as a whole, I think there's so many positives to take from that, and that's what I said to the boys in there.
And Brad, one player I'd like to single out again was Marley. How much have you seen him grow as a player coming in?
The thing is, Marley's a player of circumstance at the moment, so he would never have expected himself to play this many games at this level. The luck of the draw, again, wasn't in a favour for us, where we could potentially have a slightly lesser team to be able to go at. But Marley plays because he's got an attitude and application that you never have to question. His physicality at his age allows him to get around the pitch. Today he played a different role, but he's just a credit to himself. There's a lot he can learn tactically. Technically, he's got a lot of improvement to get there because he's as raw as they come, but the reason he's as raw as he come is some of his biggest strengths. So because he's so raw, he's so physical, he can get himself around the pitch, and he got himself in an area, and you know what? I'm thoroughly delighted for him because he deserved that. He deserved that today. But as Lewis said, the big thing for us, the biggest compliment I think the lads can have is you've got a team sat second in our league coming off the pitch today going, I don't know how you're in the situation you're in. That means nothing in terms of a league and cup performance so far, but they've seen what we can do. They've seen at times where the way we're going. And I know you mentioned Marley, but for me, the players that we've brought in so far are all having a real positive impact. It's an extremely young group, and that is the situation we're in at the moment. But those young players are only going to grow, they're going to learn, and all they need to do is just learn quickly in this, because games come thick and fast. But we're proud of a lot of the boys' performance today. Could we have said that over the bank holiday weekend? No, and that's just being honest. But one thing for sure, we're working tirelessly again. We've said about state or situation that this club's in, that isn't any disrespect to anyone. That's not any chucking any achievements under the bus of anyone else. What this club's achieved prior is unbelievable. But everyone has to understand that we are now in a huge state of transition, and it is going to take time. But there were signs of today where that transition is going to have big positive steps for us, and I feel it is going to be nothing but positive in the coming weeks.
And one of the youngsters that made his debut today was George in midfield. How do you think he performed overall?
Yeah, listen, I thought he was brilliant, and I've just said to him there, last 20 minutes, he's tired, but he's so understandable. He's not playing a lot of football, and he's come in here today, and at times I thought he was the best player on the pitch. And all them that last 20 minutes when he makes the mistakes, they're just his legs aren't working, and he just has to learn and understand. And what's sometimes hard for these lads at the minute, they're having to learn on the job, and they're having to get punished. And sometimes that's football, and sometimes that happens. But they'll only become better players and better people for it. And we've just got to keep working. I said next week we'll work again, and we'll continue to drive what we want, and we'll continue to get these lads up to a level, but they're giving us everything, and before the game today, that's all I asked for him, is that can we just give everything, empty the tank, and they did do that, and hopefully the results will start to turn, but the performance is definitely turning.
Do you think if we take performances like that into the league now that focuses on the league team as well, it'll only get better?
It's that funny odd thing that you see here. A lot of non-league people, we're never going to win the FA Cup, but it's always nice to have a bit of feel good for fans to have a cup competition to do so. The positives of that game today is we have played against second in the league, and there's so many more positives as to that performance. One thing I would like to say is the support that we are receiving here, and the understanding of the people that are coming to watch week in, week out is second to none. There's the backing of the club. We couldn't ask for any more. So when they're seeing the positives and little tiny steps, let's call them tiny steps, they're not big things at the moment, when we have to take the small things as they come, but there are a lot of positives from that performance today that we should have no doubt about taking into a league campaign, because trust me, if we improve on the small wins and keep taking them steps, the points will come. And as Lewis said, the sad thing at the moment is when you've got a lot of young lads that haven't played at the level or are learning their trade, usually they get bedded in with 7, 8, 9 experienced lads around them. At the moment, they're having to learn the hard way and almost become the experience, and this will only put them in good stead. So for us, the positives are there. We will focus on the league campaign, and the main thing is just picking up points as quickly as we can.
And then just finally, is Berkhamsted away next? So what are your thoughts just heading into that one?
Like I said, it's just again, we dust ourselves off after today. We get back into work next week, and we continue to work. We've got to embrace it, and the only way we're going to get out of this situation is by standing up and being accountable. And that starts with me and Brad, and the players have to understand that. And as a group, the only way we're going to get out of this situation is the whole club drives in the same direction. And I just feel like slowly today, I feel like it's turning. Results are going to help that, and we know that. But nothing will change. We will continue to work next week and look ahead for next Saturday.